The late morning haze had been trampled by the sun's glare as John Hart set his laced boots onto the asphalt of Burnsville, Minnesota. His quiet but hardened demeanor, though often lost amidst the raucous hubbub of bustling city life, was a silhouette stark against the idyllic languor of this quaint Midwestern town. A mosaic of storefronts stretched along the streets, a thin veil over the deep pulse of a mystery that had called him from the comfort of the known into the embrace of the nebulous. His seasoned eyes traced the outline of Burnsville Center Mall, a monolith that bore the town's beating heart, now seemingly struck by an arrhythmia of the alien kind. It towered, not with the haughty loftiness of skyscrapers that prickled his old fears, but with an unassuming enormity, its secrets buried not in heights, but in the depths of its winding halls and crowded stores. A shudder prickled his spine, a premonition echoed by the stillness that blanketed the mall, its mirth replaced by a palpable disquiet. His introduction to the enigma began through the slow unfurling of stories narrated by the town's denizens. He found himself seated across a cafe table from Mrs. Henderson, the local florist, a woman whose wrinkles etched tales of time onto her face. "Everybody's different, detective," she began, a tremor of unease lacing her words. "It's as if they're just not themselves. Eyes that used to twinkle with familiar warmth are now vacant, like looking into a starless night." Hart, his thoughts cast onto the canvas of her narrative, ventured, "What makes you say so, ma'am?" His inquiry, gentle, betrayed an undercurrent of curiosity, a subtle unveiling of his pursuit for truth. As Mrs. Henderson elaborated, punctuating her tale with vivid accounts of strange episodes and personalities frayed at the edges, the cafe door chimed, and in strolled Greg, the butcher. The jovial man Hart had heard of was absent, replaced by a specter with an unwavering gaze and movements precise as a Swiss timepiece. A disturbing spectacle that, unnoticed by most, screamed in the detective's trained eyes. The remainder of the day unfurled like a threadbare tapestry as he engaged in dialogues and observations. Each piece of this uncanny puzzle was subtly knitted into the fabric of Burnsville's quaint charm, cloaking the town in an enigma that whispered of the cosmos' untold mysteries. As twilight descended, the silhouettes of the town's houses stretched long and eerie, their lights flickering like distant stars. From his motel window, Hart cast one last glance at the mall, standing like an alien spaceship landed in an earthly cradle. A frisson of anticipation coursed through him. The day's symphony of strange tales and unsettling observations culminated in an ominous prelude, setting the stage for the investigation to pierce the night. Tomorrow, he decided, he'd delve deeper. The veneer of normalcy had begun to show its cracks, revealing an underbelly of cosmic dread that pulsated with an otherworldly rhythm. Beneath the quiet facade of Burnsville, something alien was beginning to stir, and he'd be waiting, stepping closer to the heights of truth within the depths of the enigma that was the Center Mall. Hart's mornings always began with the sun, the pre-dawn hush serving as a canvas for his thoughts. On this morning, however, the sun's first blush was stained with the ink of an alien dread, the small town of Burnsville a tableau of otherworldly mystery under its glow. He donned his worn jacket, the worn leather a testament to past victories over enigmatic conspiracies. The promise of a new challenge reflected in his unwavering gaze as he stepped out, the town a cryptic labyrinth that awaited his deciphering. His pursuit of the uncanny led him through the labyrinthine corridors of the Burnsville Center Mall, its artificially cheery fluorescence fighting to hold the shadows at bay. The stillness of the mall felt punctuated by an undercurrent of unnatural harmony, like a discordant note in a symphony, invisible but deeply felt. He encountered Mallory, a jovial shopkeeper, her sparkling energy now reduced to an eerie calmness, her movements echoing the same precision he had observed in the butcher. The light conversation held a veneer of superficiality, the dialogue skimming over the depths of their thoughts. "You've been acting strangely, Mallory," he ventured, his words cushioned by his typically gentle tone. His sharp gaze, however, mirrored the urgency of his query. "It's been a draining week, detective," she responded, her voice bereft of its usual verve, her eyes vacant yet oddly focused. The conversation bore no fruitful information, but the manifestation of her unusual demeanor added another stroke to the emerging picture. In the midst of his investigation, an earth-shaking event unfurled. From the highest floor of the mall, a man plummeted, his body colliding with the ground in an explosion of surreal horror. This was no suicide. Hart's instincts screamed of an alien hand guiding the act. This plunge from a height, so viscerally reminding him of his own fears, incited him to delve deeper, to peel back the layers of this mystery, no matter how grotesque the truths hidden beneath. The day ended with the discovery of a shocking artifact, a foreign organism nestled within the corpse of the fallen man, a creature that could only belong to realms beyond their own. This extraterrestrial entity stood as undeniable evidence of an alien infiltration. A chill ran through his spine as he stood in the sterile environment of the morgue, the quiet hum of fluorescent lights serving as an eerie soundtrack to this cosmic revelation. As he returned to his motel room, the town's silhouette under the moonlight was a stark reminder of the transformation taking place. The once tranquil houses seemed to pulse in rhythm with an unseen conductor, their lights flickering like cosmic lanterns. The small-town charm of Burnsville was now tinged with a spectral hue of terror, the heart of it beating within the mall's looming structure. Tucked in the quiet of his motel room, he found himself at the precipice of an enigma whose depths held answers he could unearth. The end of the day didn't mark an end, but a threshold, a descent into a nightmarish reality orchestrated by unseen puppeteers. The manifestation of the alien hand had begun, and he stood on the edge, his fear of heights dwarfed by the terror of the unknown, ready to step into the void of the extraordinary. As dawn broke, John Hart stared at his reflection in the motel mirror, the weight of his discovery casting a long shadow upon his normally placid demeanor. The unearthly parasite, its mere existence a grotesque mockery of nature's laws, was an insidious actor in a cosmic play whose script was still shrouded in uncertainty. His journey into the heart of Burnsville continued, each step punctuated by the pervading disquiet that hung over the town like a spectral shroud. The echo of his boots against the cobblestone streets seemed to beat in time with the rhythm of an invisible conductor, a cadence both unnerving and relentless. At the town hall, he encountered Mayor Donovan, a robust figure of authority, now marred with the same eerie vacancy that clung to the others. Their dialogue danced around trivialities before Hart addressed the peculiarities he had observed. "Something strange is unfolding, Mayor," he spoke, each word a stone sinking into the calm lake of their conversation. The mayor's response, though filled with political niceties and assurances, was an echo of the unsettling change, his mechanical mannerisms further affirming the infection's spread. It was a terrifying spectacle. The depth of the cosmic puppeteer's infiltration laid bare in the highest echelons of Burnsville's societal structure. As Hart moved through the rhythmic pulse of the town, he found himself at the threshold of the center mall once again. Each footfall upon the mall's polished floors echoed through its cavernous belly, a symphony of the ordinary resonating with the hum of the extraordinary. The once bustling hive of commerce was now a grotesque theater, its cast the townsfolk, prisoners of an alien choreography. In the midst of this orchestrated dread, he made a disturbing connection. The chilling coordination among the populace, the puppet-like precision of their movements, all seemed orchestrated by the unearthly parasites. The realization was a thunderous revelation, the truth of it crashing over him like a merciless wave. The day culminated with his futile attempts to alert the authorities. The alien influence had spiraled deeper than he'd feared, the dark tendrils of this cosmic conspiracy tightly wrapped around the town. His communications fell on deaf ears, his warnings dismissed as unfounded paranoia, a sobering testament to the parasite's pervasive control. Night fell, and he retreated to his motel, the town's familiar skyline now a panorama of alien infection. Each light in the town flickered like a distant star, casting an otherworldly glow on the stage of this cosmic horror. Within the quiet confines of his room, he wrestled with his discovery, a terror far more profound than his fear of heights. With this chapter closed, another opened, filled with dread and uncertainty. The infection had spread, Burnsville ensnared in the puppeteer's grasp, the mall at its heart. The following day held a daunting task, a last bid for escape, a desperate struggle against a puppeteer who pulled on strings unseen. The stage was set for a final act of rebellion amidst an inescapable cosmic dread. Dawn found John Hart awake, his restless night spent turning the terrifying puzzle pieces over in his mind. The sun seemed to rise reluctantly, its dim light casting long, spectral shadows that mirrored the alien dread that clung to Burnsville like a phantom shroud. Donning his worn jacket, his reflection in the mirror was no longer the one of a seasoned detective, but of a solitary soldier in a cosmic battlefield. His fear of heights now a footnote compared to the abyss that gazed back at him from the heart of this quiet, Midwestern town. Walking through the town, he felt an eerie disconnect, as if the reality of Burnsville was rippling under an alien tide. The once familiar faces were now masks of vacant stares and mechanical movements. Even the familiar clink of morning coffee cups at the local diner echoed with an unnerving rhythm, a cacophony of the ordinary manipulated by the extraordinary. His path inevitably led him to the epicenter, the Burnsville Center Mall. A chilling orchestration met his entry, the townsfolk moving in an unnatural ballet under the puppeteer's unseen hand. The grotesque spectacle offered a cruel mockery of the life he once knew. Within the heart of this alien-controlled hive, he found himself cornered by Mayor Donovan. The conversation that ensued was a bizarre dance, the mayor's words imbued with an alien eloquence, his humanity lost to the cosmic parasite. "I assure you, Detective, everything is under control," Donovan echoed, his mechanical reassurances resonating with the alien hum that had seized Burnsville. The realization of his solitary stand, the face of this uncanny conspiracy before him, ignited a resolve within Hart. His bravery, not loud but stoic, shone as a beacon in the engulfing darkness. His optimism, though strained, was a testament to his relentless spirit. A moment of calculated recklessness saw him escape the mayor's grasp. His flight through the mall, a terrifying game of cat and mouse within the labyrinthine structure. Every turn he took seemed to echo in the unnatural silence, his heart's pounding a metronome in the symphony of survival. In this desperate dash, the fear of heights that once haunted him transformed into a beacon of salvation. The rooftop access, a path traditionally threatening, now held the promise of escape from the parasitic puppeteer's dominion. As he burst onto the rooftop, he was greeted by the vast expanse of the twilight sky, a canvas of scattered stars and distant galaxies. It was a poignant reminder of the infinite unknown, a cosmic expanse that held both wonder and terror in equal measure. The escape was an adrenaline-laced gamble, the subsequent plunge into the unknown, a testament to his unyielding spirit. Amidst the tranquil town, now a puppet on the cosmic stage, a vehicle roared to life, carrying him towards the margins of Burnsville. His escape, however, was a somber victory. As he watched the town fade into the horizon, the daunting truth became apparent. The puppeteer's strings, though severed, still clung to Burnsville, the town's fate bound to a terrifying cosmic conspiracy. His journey didn't culminate in vanquishing a cosmic evil, but in escaping the dreadful grip of its puppeteer. In this silent survival, he found himself forever marked by the phantom shroud of Burnsville, accompanied by the echoes of a horror lurking in the heights of the extraordinary, amidst the depths of the ordinary. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed our content, show your support with a like and subscribe, and stay notified by hitting the bell icon. Expect more cosmic horror from Eldritch Tales Factory, and feel free to explore our other stories. See you in the next video.